Hello there. It is Bob, and we are coming to you once again from the card closet. It is episode 51 of Then and Now, and let's take a look at an actual through the mail return that my brother got about probably 1986, 87, and it is someone who will forever be synonymous with one big play in the World Series, even though he had a nice 12-year career with the Mets, with the Toronto Blue Jays. But when you say the name Mookie Wilson, you think about the 10th inning of Game 6 of the 1986 World Series and the ball that went through Bill Buckner's legs. Certainly it worked out well for Mookie and the Mets for that World Series, not so much for Billy Buckner. But we will remember Mookie Wilson and this cool return that my brother got on the 3x5 card through the mail in the then portion of our episode. Let's see what's in this week's mailbag. So it's a mixed mailbag this week. We're going to get started with that yellow label. You don't like to see that. We have kind of a private signing. We'll talk about that more. And then 10 others. Let's start with Al Worthington, return to sender, the second attempt to get Mr. Worthington. It came back both times. So we looked it up, and there's a new address people are trying, so I sent it out, and we'll see how we do. If you've collected cards at any point from the mid-'70s through the '80s, you know the name Denny Walling. Well, I certainly did. He has a ton of cards, and an employee at work, I noticed, had the same last name. So I said, hey, any relation to Denny Walling? Because, in those early 80 years, there was 3 or 4 different sets of every team. These guys had tons of cards. And she said, yeah, that's my great uncle. And she offered to help me get some cards signed. So it took a little bit, but over the river and through the woods, we got this through the mail from Mr. Walling himself. Denny Walling, first overall pick, shared his rookie card with Andre Dawson, and played a long time for the A's, the Astros for a long time, and then finished up with the Cardinals. So we're super happy to get Mr. Denny Walling to get us started today. And we had a great get for the 88 set. So let's get into the nuts and bolts. Columbus, Ohio. And we have hockey, and it's Gord Murphy. A pair from Gord Murphy, Philadelphia Flyer. So there's 2 from Gord Murphy, West Palm Beach, Florida. And Mike Easler, the Hitman. Wow. I had wondered if that was going to come back. It had been a little bit. I know that he's doing some signing through third-party signers. And I believe that cost a little bit. We'll put that up in the notes. But Mike Easler on the 84 with the 79 inscription and the 81 All-Star. And then Mike Easler on the 88 tops with the Yankee. I don't have many game-used equipment, but I do have a Mike Easler bat. So that is pretty exciting. Pittsburgh, PA is next. We have 2 folders. And we have Sid Bream. So Sid Bream here on these 2, and we have one more. It looks like Fleer, 92 Fleer Ultra, and the 88 tops. I had sent to Sid Bream 3 or 4 months ago, and I didn't get it back. So I saw so many people were getting Sid Bream. I tried again, and this is definitely the second time around for Sid Bream. And look at that card. That Stadium Club is an awesome looking card there, playing first base, making a play against the Expos. So cool. Excellent. Houston, Texas is next. And we have basketball, Mr. Billy Paltz. Couple of Spurs cards for Billy Paltz, signed in blue. Looks nice against the blue, trim on the card. San Antonio Spurs center Billy Paltz. So we have baseball, basketball, hockey, Fort Myers, Florida. This feels a little heavy. What do we have here? Bob Guffaw, Brian Pop, number 26, brianpop.com, millions.com, Angel on My Wing, 425 goals, 64 goals. These must be career stats, 579 assists, 1,004 points, 1,016 games, 64 goals in a season, 84 assists, 148 points, 160 games, a 5-time All-Star. Is Mr. Brian Pops. Now let's see. Brian Prop. I know a guy named Brian Pops. Let's see what we got. All right. So there's the 91 score with the North Stars. And we'll get to the extra stuff here in a second. And there's a Flyers card, and there's with the Boston Bruins up there. So we got Brian Prop on 3 different teams, which is cool. And then we got Guffaw Cigars, make a little noise. Guffaw, Brian Prop owner, and he signed the business card. So there you go, if you want to check that out. That's cool. And we got a throw-in card. Look at that hair. Brian Prop. BWK Hall of Fame card. That is also cool. And Brian Prop, Energy Advisor, Guffaw. So some business cards, some extra stuff from Brian Prop. How cool. Denver, Colorado. Mark Haynes. New York Football Giants, Mark Haynes went on to play for the Broncos, but I got him on Giants cards. The 83 and the 82, Mark Haynes. He was with the Giants when the Giants started to make the turn from being a bad team in the 70s to a good team in the middle 80s. He was part of that resurrection, the early days of Mr. Bill Parcells. And here is from Denver, Colorado, back-to-back, Kent McLaughlin. One of those is right. So there's Kent on a cool, that's a cool, is it the 68? I'm not sure. We'll correct it if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong. Cool card there. Phoenix, Arizona is next. As we're winding down it's been a slow week. So, all right. This is Eric Bell. I usually do the cardboard sleeves. I wanted to see what was up with sending him in a card saver. So I tried the card saver. And it looks to me like everything worked great too. I love my cardboard sleeves. And we're just going to leave them in there. But I got 3 of them back. Maybe that's why I don't use those. And I know a lot of folks just put the cards in unprotected. I don't know that I love that idea, but Raleigh, North Carolina. So we got 3 from Eric Bell, and I know what I sent Eric Bell was all 3 from 88. So we got the Fleer, the Donruss, and the Topps in that set. And Milt Plum. Cool football vintage. That, I believe, is the 68 or the 69. Again, not great with my football vintage cards, although I am getting better because I am hunting for more of them. So we got some cool vintage football that we picked up out in the wild at a flea market. And our last one for this episode, as we're coming up on the finale, it is Stan Gelbaugh from the World Football League Pro Set. Stan Gelbaugh from the London Monarchs. So when I see these oddball sets, if you want to call it oddball, these, defunct leagues and different things, and if it's a reasonable price, I pick it up. And we sent out about 3 or 4 players from the World League that seemed like they signed, and Stan Gelbaugh, who also spent time in the NFL as well. But he signed on both of his World League Pro Set cards. So that I just picked up like a week ago. That's a pretty short return for Stan Gelbaugh. So there you have it. Those are the returns for this episode number 51 now of the TTM Returns videos. Having a blast. I hope you like watching them. If you do, please hit like, subscribe if you're not, share it if you know someone that will like what we're doing, and of course, please leave a comment. So until next time, farewell.